What's good, bass heads? I am sending you this video today in lieu of the live stream because I am out working in the Caribbean at the moment. And yeah, so today I want to talk about pocket and groove. And by the end of this video, if you don't know, you should have a little bit of a better idea of how to think about that concept and what to do with it, both in the studio and in a live situation. All right, let's get into it. Before we do that, go on and do all these things for me. Remember that there is merch down below this video. Today's video is sponsored by my album, Saint Anne. Features some of the dopest musicians in the Bay Area, and also Dr. Fink from the Revolution and Levi Caesar from the MPG. So if you're ready, let's get into it. We hear this term, locking with the drummer, but what does that mean? Play with the drummer. What does that mean? That does not always mean that we are playing the exact same thing with the drummer, with the kick drum. Sometimes it means that we're complementing what the kick drum is doing. I like to look at it more of a way that we need to be communicating with each other, right? We need to be listening. We don't have to stare at each other to do this. We just need to keep our ears and eyes open. And sometimes that can be, you know, a tug of war. Another question would be, when does one person give? You know what I'm saying? I've been in situations where guys are playing or I'm playing with somebody, or they may be playing with me, and it's like, for whatever reason, we can't give. We're not connecting, right? And that could be any number of things. Anyway, I'm going to use this drum loop as an example. All right. One, two, three, 4, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Why did I count out those bars? Because I want to know, you know, I want to feel. Now, this is an intellectual way of thinking about this right now. I'm thinking about it in an intellectual sense. But you want to get to a point where you just know that that's a 4-measure phrase. So what do I do with that information? Let's listen to the kick drum. All right. So the most obvious thing about that pattern is bop, 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 right? That's the most prominent pattern. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 Okay? So let's start with beat number 1. Okay? I'm just going to arbitrarily pick the note G. Okay? Now that I've picked the note G, there is no tonality. It's just G. G is the tonality. Forgive me. There's no other harmonic information there. It's just the note G. We haven't determined if it's major, minor, whatever. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. One and. Okay, so I'm just doing 1 and. So now, if it's just me and the drummer, now let me decide. Let me make some decisions. The moment I add another note, then that's going to give us a little bit more of a clue as to what scale, mode, what the color is going to be, if you will, right? So this is just, you could think about this as a wall. Once I throw a third in there, either a minor third or a minor third or a major third, that's going to determine the color of that wall. Hope that makes sense. So now that I've got two events that I'm putting on beat number one, let me decide now what I want to do. I'm thinking a flat 7, right? That's also going to determine the color of the wall. One, two, three. So really, I know I added just to kind of push us into that one and, right? So we know we have 1, 2, 4. We've got events happening on beat 1 and 3. Let's do something on beat number 3. So we'll choose the and of 3. Just arbitrarily choose the and of beat 3. So it'd be 1 and 2, 3 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay? Pete. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Now, as I'm doing that, I took a very specific, almost academic, a little bit intellectual, a wee bit intellectual, not a lot of intellectual, but I did a little bit of thinking to come up with what I wanted to do based on this groove. And then I started relying on vocabulary that's been picked up over time. You dig? So the sort of skeleton or the framework of that groove, that idea, is 1 and, right? Now, I'm obviously playing with more liberty, taking more liberties with the pattern because it's just me in a drum loop. If it were me and a singer, or if I were tracking a bass line that I knew would have a singer come along, I might play a lot less to leave some room. Right? In that example, I'm not completely locked. I'm taking one part of that kick drum idea and then kind of expanding off of that. Now, this is easier to do with a drum loop than it is to do with a person who doesn't share the same vocabulary. So it's important that the drummer and the bass player not even the same vocabulary necessarily, as much as the same understanding that that we need to be communicating, right? I've played in situations before where, you know, it's like pulling a bag of bricks up a hill. And I would be remiss, I would be lying if I said that there haven't been a drummer or two that felt that way about playing with me. That's transparent, right? That's real. None of us are right all the time. So anyway, I will see you guys next Wednesday on the live stream. I've had a lot of fun doing those things on Wednesday nights, trying and failing, having technical issues and all those things. But what I know from experience is that that's where growth comes from. You just keep falling down and getting back up and doing it. So I will see you guys next Wednesday when I am back in my own space. Okay. Hope you're well wherever you are. Peace. Two fingers.